Hello, and welcome to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. I'm Juliet the daughter.
And that must make me Kevin the dad.
And today, we're covering a group because I thought, hey, their names sound interesting. Let's see what their music's like. So today, we're talking about Captain and Tennille, with the album cover where Tennille's eyes never leave you, and it's kinda creepy.
And the captains always look dead. They're like black olives.
Yeah.
Solid black.
So, Dad, what do we need to know about them?
Well, the CD that Juliet picked is called, in its entirety, The Best of Captain and Tennille, 20th Century Masters, The Millennium Collection.
That's
which
mouthful.
was part of Universal's 20th Century Masters CD series, which was basically, they took every artist that they had and slapped anywhere from 10 to 12 songs on a disc and said, hey, it's a best of.
They were the ones who made the Grace Jones compilation that we reviewed. The Grace Jones compilation that we reviewed about, I think it was 2-3 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, some of the collections are really well done. There's a lot of thought put behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them, it's just like, okay, we need to make a few quick bucks.
And as for this one, well, we shall see, won't we?
We shall find out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first participant in the Captain and Tennille is the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Darrell Frank Dragon was born August 27th, 1942. He studied piano at San Fernando Valley State College from 1963 to 1966. He played keyboards for the Beach Boys on tour from 1967 to 1972.
Good career.
Mike Love nicknamed him Captain Keyboard.
Oh.
Then proceeded to sue Darrell Dragon for being so named Captain Keyboard. No. Dragon took to wearing his trademark captain's hat. And in 1972, he made significant contributions to the Beach Boys album Carl and the Passions, So Tough.
Do we have that?
No, we do not.
Oh.
Carl and the Passions was one of the original names that the band was thinking of before they decided on the Beach Boys.
Well, that name sucks.
Well, it's going to be Carl Wilson, and I guess the rest of the band would have been the Passions.
Beach Boys is better. Or as Deanna would say, shouldn't they be the Beach Men by now?
Oh, we're going to get into some Beach Boys naming a little later.
Uh-oh.
Now, believe it or not, there's a plaque at the Ramada Inn in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, with Darrell's name on it.
Why?
It was unveiled in 2017 to commemorate the first ever appearance of South African musicians Ricky Fattar from the Ruddles and Blondie Chaplin as part of the Beach Boys, making them a multicultural group.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, and I also found there's actually a sign on a telephone pole in Pawtucket.
Oh my God.
Near what used to be the Narragansett Racetrack is currently that deserted shopping area with the closed down Stop and Shop and the deserted Bertucci's.
Oh, the one that they won't let go of?
Yep. And there's a sign to commemorate the Beach Boys concert at the Narragansett Racetrack in 1977. 40,000 people showed up, apparently almost doubling the size of the city's population at the time.
Maybe we should go there one day and take a couple of photos like a couple of tourists.
There's one online.
Oh.
I think I might have forwarded it to you. I'm not sure.
No, you didn't.
Okay,
So
I'll
send
have
it to me
do that.
later.
All right, anyway. In between tours of the Beach Boys, Dragon had heard about a keyboardist opening for a musical called Mother Earth. All the songs were written by Tony Tennille. Catherine Antoinette Tennille, possessor of one of the world's biggest and best smiles, was born May 8, 1940 in Montgomery, Alabama. She studied classical piano at Auburn for 2 years. In 1959, her family moved to Balboa, California. In the late 60s, Tennille was a member of the South Coast Repertory. One of the directors, Ron Thronson, asked her to write the music for a rock musical he was working on called Mother Earth.
Ron Thronson sounds like a dark version of Ron Swanson, or at least Ron in an alternative universe.
Yep. It did well locally, then went to San Francisco and Los Angeles in 1971, eventually making it to Broadway in 1972. Now, Tony's credit has her last name listed as Scherer, as she was married to Kenneth Scherer from 1962 to 1972.
Oh.
After Mother Earth finished up its West Coast swing, Darrell Dragon got the Beach Boys to hire her as an additional keyboardist. She toured with them for a year and has since been known as the Beach Boys' one and only beach girl.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
Now, when the tour was over, they moved in together and had a long-standing gig at the Smokehouse in Encino, California. They eventually married in November of 1974. They got popular in LA and recorded an early version of Tony's The Way I Want to Touch You. It became a regional hit and labels came calling. They signed with A&M. Their first album, Love Will Keep Us Together, was a family affair. Tony's sisters, Melissa, June, and Louisa, sang on backgrounds, and Daryl's brother Dennis engineered and played drums on some songs. Their first single, Love Will Keep Us Together, hit #1. Neil Sedaka and Howard Greenfield wrote it, and it was responsible for Sedaka's mid-70s comeback because he and Greenfield, they were on the verge of breaking up because they thought no one wanted their stuff.
They all wanted bands.
Until this song just hit huge.
Mm-hmm.
So Daryl plays all the instruments except for drums and percussion. That's Hal Blaine.
Oh, cool.
And Tony does the vocals, so it's just the three of them on this song. The Captain and Tennille also recorded a Spanish version, Por Amor Viviremos. And they also did a completely Spanish version of their first album.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. In 1976, Love Will Keep Us Together won a Grammy for Record of the Year.
Uh-oh.
Which is highly understandable because seeing the other nominees, I thought this was obviously the best of that lot.
Who are the other ones?
I think there was a Barry Manilow song, among others. You'd have to check it because it just was like, oh my God. They would go on to have a string of hits until 1979. They got a variety show because, of course, it was the 1970s, which lasted for about one season.
Mm-hmm.
During this time, Tony also worked as a session singer, as a background vocalist on Elton John's albums Caribou, Blue Moves, and 21 at 33. She also sang on Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Whoa.
And she has a story about that.
Okay.
She said, I went to see the Pink Floyd concert at the Sports Arena in Los Angeles. There was a 15-year-old boy singing in front of me who recognized me. He turned around and snottily said, "What are you doing here?" So I told him I sang on the album. Mm-hmm. He ran off to find a friend who had the LP. I brought the LP to the show and looked at the back to see if my name was really on there. A few minutes later, he came back and apologetically said, "Can I have your autograph?"
Oh my God, I hope she said, no, go away. That's what I would have done.
But yes, I think because of her Beach Boy connection, because she and a couple of the boys provide background vocals on a lot of The Wall.
Huh, okay.
Okay. So the Captain and Tennille kept touring, and in the 90s frequented Harrah's Lake Tahoe and Harrah's Reno casinos as they were close to their home in Carson City, Nevada. Tony had a second career as a big band and pop standard singer, like almost everyone else was doing at the time. Thanks, Linda Ronstadt. She also put in a year as the star of Victor Victoria on the Broadway tour.
I didn't know she was in that.
Yep.
Because I just thought it was Julie Andrews, Liza Minnelli, and Raquel Welch. Those are like the big three you hear about.
Well, I don't know if the Broadway tour, is that the one that like is officially sanctioned to go around the country?
Yeah.
Okay, then that was probably it. In 2005, they signed a deal with Respond to Entertainment for 3 projects. 1, a DVD release of their 1976 TV show, including all the episodes. All 6 of their albums remastered on CD from both A&M and I believe from Casablanca. And a new recording, a Christmas album called Saving Up for Christmas, which I believe has their version of I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas.
Oh, no.
In 2008, they moved to Prescott, Arizona, where Tony still participates in the annual Prescott Jazz Summit. In 2014, love stopped keeping them together.
Yeah, that's what the article said.
Yeah, Tony filed for divorce from Daryl. She said that he was just emotionally distant and they had not slept together for years. Separate bedrooms, and you know, she tried and he just had this type of personality. That's how he just was. But he also had a neurological condition called essential tremor. He got tremor so bad he could no longer play keyboards.
Ooh, that sucks.
But it also turned out part of that was due to a misdiagnosis of prescription medicines.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Eventually,
Big pharma.
Eventually it did get fixed, but it might have been too little too late.
Yeah.
He and Tony remained friends, and she was at his bedside when he died from complications of kidney failure in 2019. Now, I'm going to start doing this for every band that we cover
Okay.
because I think we kind of semi-started with Al Yankovic, but Captain and Tennille have been eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame since 2000.
Okay.
Don't know if that'll ever happen, but if there's ever a Yacht Rock Hall of Fame, they'll get in as part of the inaugural class because Love Will Keep Us Together is looked on as one of the founding songs of that genre of rock.
For better or for worse.
Yes. I think other inaugural bands would be Steely Dan, the Doobie Brothers. You got to get Rupert Holmes in there.
What's wrong with Steely Dan, though?
Well, no, they have good music. It's not that yacht rock is bad per se overall. It's just that there's a certain type of vibe of music that constitutes as yacht rock.
Okay.
And there's a hilarious yacht rock series on YouTube. It's a fake documentary, 4 of the 5-part series, which is hysterical. And there was also a history of yacht rock book that I read, which I can't remember the title of, but I'm sure you can find it. But anyway, as for me, well, sorry critics, but Love Will Keep Us Together is irresistible. So, go ahead, be snobs.
Did you also watch their TV show when it was on in the 70s?
I vaguely remember parts of it. Because Nan and Grandpa controlled the TV. So, whatever they watched, that's what we watched.
You watched, yeah.
Back when there were only 3 channels from which to choose.
ABC, NBC, CBS?
Yep.
Yeah.
And if we got lucky, maybe PBS.
Ah.
So I found this collection that we're about to review at Newbury Comics for maybe $5 or $6 years ago. There's 12 songs on it. 6 of them I really, really wanted. So for me, so far we're batting 500. But can we up that average?
Well, let's see.
Find out.
All
and I
right.
will tell you which are the 6 that I had to have.
Okay. All right. So, number 1. I already know you probably have this one. Love Will Keep Us Together. When I heard those opening notes, my first thought was, why the hell does Dad like this? Because it doesn't sound like you at all. But then the song went on and I realized, oh, it's because the words are catchy. But for me, I like the song because it's bouncy. The rhythm is cheerful and expressive. And at first you think, oh, this is going to be a sappy love song, but there's an undercurrent of tension to it because other women are looking at Tennille's man. Uh-oh. When she kept saying love will keep us together, I rolled my eyes because that phrase has become a cliche, and also I later rolled my eyes considering that, all the articles wrote about how it didn't keep them together when they got divorced. But then she says, when the others turn you off, who will be turning you on? Translation, they may be snacks, but I'm a goddamn 5-course meal. Fun song, but I can also see why people into the punk scene in the 70s would make fun of this.
I mean, to me, this is a perfect pop song. Catchy hooks, simple lyrics, great guitar, great singing, no guitars, all keyboards. Sorry about that.
Guitar would be interesting if it was in there, like a guitar arrangement.
Yeah, their first release and their first number 1 for 4 weeks at the top of the charts. And it was also the number 1 song of 1975. And again, not bad for 3 people. Daryl on all the keyboards and synthesizers. The great Hal Blaine on drums. And Tony on lead and backing vocals.
Is Hal Blaine still alive?
No, he's not, unfortunately.
Rest in peace.
Tony name-checks writer Neil Sedaka at the end of the fade-out singing Sedaka is back. And like I said, he came back big time because of this song.
That was the name of one of his albums also, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
And the thing is, Wilson Pickett did the version in 1976, and I would love to hear that.
Well, you can Google it after we're done.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And yeah, lyrically, it's kind of a warning. Because she says, watch out for those sweet-talking girls. Think of me. Don't let them talk me down. And then, someday your looks will be gone, but I'll still be around thinking, wow, if he ends up looking like the Elephant Man and she's still going to be around, it definitely must be what's on the inside. And I got to say, big ups to Daryl because he's got some great catchy keyboard hooks, especially with that opening.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, this is a song that just will not be denied. And this is the first of my 6 songs.
Okay. All right. Next track. This might be the second. I'm going to guess it's the second.
Oh, you are such a good guesser.
Okay. The Way I Want to Touch You. I'm going to make a claim here.
You go ahead.
Even though I wasn't alive during this era. instead of every wedding in the 70s playing You Light Up My Life, they could have played this instead. He's considering it.
Yeah, but then the receptions would have just turned into orgies.
It was the 70s. Isn't that normal?
Good point, yes.
Yeah. Fun fact, though, You Light Up My Life, I don't mind as much because we used a version of it in ballroom dance that was perfect for waltz. And it's really a good practice song for learning the waltz for the first time because it's slow enough.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah. Anyway, so, sure there were better love songs written around that time, but if I had to choose between the two of them, I'd pick Captain and Tennille. Because this one is romantic, but it has surprising elements of intimacy and seriousness. The intimacy comes from the music and Tennille singing quietly, but the seriousness is in the subtext. When she says, you are night, you are day, you are dark, you are light, etc., she's saying, you're not one-dimensional. He's nuanced. He's human. And that's a good message. Women don't want guys who pretend to be something they're not, or who only have a cardboard cutout personality. And sending the message to this music is very romantic.
Mm-hmm. And Toni wrote this song about Daryl back in 1972, and
Aww.
she wrote quite a few songs about him. And I gotta say, Toni can write some hot and heavy songs. But like you brought up, it's interesting that she sees all these contradictions in him. Like you said, he's morning, night, sunshine, shadow, hard and good times, darkness and light. But she still wants him, like you said, well-rounded, not one-dimensional. And I mean, she really, really wants him. And I will go on record as saying that I'm sure lots of babies were conceived to this song.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah, this is definitely my second of 6.
Okay. Next
okay,
track.
and we come to...
Here we go, the big one. It's what you came for, and we're gonna talk about it. Muskrat Love. Okay, I don't know whether or not this is one of the ones you picked because it's guilty pleasure. It's not. Okay, good. Okay, Dad did not pick this song. He doesn't like this song either. Okay, so I've only heard this song once before, and I don't remember too much other than being dumbfounded. You were playing it in the car when we were driving through Seekonk one time. So, but this song inspired one of my favorite jokes on The Nanny. When Fran uses one of Mr. Sheffield's most expensive bottles of wine to make sangria, and Niall says, using that wine to make sangria is like asking Pavarotti to sing Muskrat Love.
Nah.
I lost it. So I think we can thank the song for that joke. But is it worth the joke? Well, when I first heard the music, I immediately got sad because the music was pretty, and it reminded me of As the World Falls Down, the love song David Bowie sings to Jennifer Connelly in Labyrinth, just in terms of music-wise, not in terms of lyric-wise, and I realized, I'm gonna wish I was listening to that song instead, aren't I? And by the end of it, I wasn't fueled with a burning rage to erase this song from all existence, but I was baffled. I was confused. I didn't bother looking for the deeper meaning, because I had a feeling if I did, it would take me to a dark corner of the internet I don't want to go down. I can think of only 2 ways this song would work. 1, we keep the music and scrap the lyrics completely. Or 2, we rework the music and the lyrics to make it a song marketed for kids. Because I think if you did that, it could work as a kid's song.
Well, yeah, because Toni said she thought it was very Disney-esque.
Okay, so I'm not wrong. The only parts of this song that made me uncomfortable were the chittering sounds of muskrats they tried to replicate with the studio technology, the whirring of helicopter blades for some reason, and then god-awful scattered electric drumming at the end that sounded like ASMR gone wrong. Listening to that part on headphones really wasn't fun. I don't have any inflammatory statements, but I just want to know, why the hell did they record this song in the first place? Did they think they could make it a hit? They can't have. It's too much of an unorganized debacle for it to be a hit in any decade. Either they were that full of themselves, or they were shrewd enough to realize their fan base was so committed they'd buy any old crap and they'd still make money. What a weird experience.
Well, now we'll get the story behind the story.
Uh-oh.
This was written by one Willis Allen Ramsey.
Is it the only song you ever wrote?
I really don't know, but this is probably his most famous.
Okay.
The band America covered it first in 1973.
Is that one any good?
Don't know, never heard it. Now here's the thing. Toni heard it and thought it was hysterical. She brought it down. She's like, listen to this. It's about these muskrats that are in love.
So it was released as a joke?
And she told Daryl they should do it back during their Smokehouse days, and Daryl thought it was the stupidest song he had ever heard.
Oh my God, they're
But
trolling us. They're trolling us. That's what it is. They're trolling their fans. Like, isn't this song so stupid?
Well, but I guess Tony just really wanted to do it and wore him down, and he said, "Fine, we'll do it for a week, and we'll see what happens."
No.
Now this is the '70s, so we got to assume everyone was coked out of their minds because the audiences went nuts for it.
Really?
Really.
They didn't happen to release it around April Fool's Day or something, did they?
They wound up having to do it twice in their set each time because audiences just could not get enough of it. So their version came out in 1976 on their Song of Joy album, and it hit number 4 on the Billboard singles chart. And believe it or not,
but
they were invited to the White House.
No.
And they played this song for Queen Elizabeth II.
No.
And critics...
Wait, was this around the time she was invited to the United States for the bicentennial of the founding of our country?
I imagine it probably was.
Okay, so Ford was president back then. So, that doesn't surprise me for some reason.
Yeah, I guess yeah. So when they did it for the Queen, there were critics who came out and said it was kind of inappropriate.
Yeah.
Singing the song for the Queen.
I mean, I'm not a fan of monarchy, but I do feel bad for her.
About rodentia procreation.
Oh my God.
And this song is polarizing. People either love it or they hate it.
I think we know what camp the both of us fall under.
It makes a lot of worst songs ever list, and it is one of the crown jewels of Dave Barry's book of bad songs. Described by Dave as a tender, poetic, squeak-filled ballad about rodents having sex.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And thanks to Daryl's keyboard work, it is squeak-filled. He provides the audio and invites the listeners out there to provide the visuals.
Whether we want to or not.
And I went on and did some research about, I wonder what muskrats really look like. And they are unpleasant critters with sharp claws. I mean, really long, sharp claws.
Googling muskrats right now.
You should stay the hell away from these critters.
They kind of look like a psychotic beaver.
Yes, they do.
Only their hair is like a beaver's hair is like their fur. It's like more slicked down.
Yeah,
but the muskrat,
more spiky.
It's more spiky. Looks like a beaver got electrocuted by lightning. Oh, their teeth are hideous.
Yep. So I would recommend staying away from them.
Man, those muskrats must be into some hardcore shit.
I guess they'd have to be. I mean,
considering how crazy they look.
Yes, they do. I gotta say, the one good thing about this song is it's one of the reasons why punk had to happen.
Yeah, thanks, punk. Otherwise, Dad probably wouldn't be here right now. How did you get through the 70s? I mean, I know you were a kid, but still.
Thankfully, I guess I was a kid. Probably didn't know better until much later. I have no idea. I mean, I served 3 years' time in Catholic school in my junior high school years, and that was awful. It was so god-awful. Public school was the best thing to happen after that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, people look back and say, oh, the good old days. I look back in the 70s and think, oh my God. I have no idea how I got out of it alive.
I mean, every decade is screwed up and horrible things happen in history in each decade, so maybe it has to do with how young you were and how ignorant you were at the time, too, to what was going on around you. Because, hey, you're a kid. You're just worried about school and what your friends think of you and other stuff.
Yeah.
You're not worried about the world going on at large. You can't understand it yet. Anyway, next track. Shop Around. Yes? I'm guessing this is one that you came for?
Oh, very good. Okay. You are 3 for 3 so far, my friend.
So, written originally by Berry Gordy of Motown fame, who's also getting a Kennedy Center honor this year. Congratulations.
About time.
Yeah. So, change the word Papa to Mama, and you have a good ballad and empowerment song for Tennille. She doesn't mean shop around as in sleep around. That'd be a different song. She means explore your options so you can find the person who's meant for you. The song is right. You don't want to invest everything in the first guy you see. Dating is a trial and error process, oftentimes with a lot of error. So learn a bit more about yourself and what you like, and then go looking for love. Make sure love is found in the right one. A great song for guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
Oh, I like your little rhyme there.
Thanks. I got it from Thomas Sanders. Hi, Thomas, if you're out there. Probably not.
This was the first version I ever heard, believe it or not. Smokey's version came to me much, much later.
Oh,
like,
I bet Smokey's was really good.
I ended up doing all these things in reverse order. It happens. And it happened to me a lot with Linda Ronstadt. But that's a story for another podcast. I gotta say, the captain and Tennille, they do a really good job. And even Smokey reached out to them and said he really liked it.
Oh, that's nice.
And Tony said that even though the song had not been sung from a woman's point of view, it worked for the girl too.
It really works.
It works for anyone. I mean, this song is 61 years old, and its message is still timeless. Don't settle for less.
And it takes a heck of a lot to make a song timeless when it's written decades ago. But as long as you're writing about universal themes, it's going to work. And as long as you don't use any dated lingo to express those universal themes, you'll be fine.
And I liked how Daryl kind of slowed down the beat, because you listen to Smokey and the Miracles version, and it's very...
Like he's shopping really fast.
Yeah. Yeah, like they want to get through the express lane or something.
Yeah, that's you and I when we go shopping. But this song is more mom, where it's like, take your time with the products, make sure you're getting the right brand and the right size, and that sort of thing.
Yep. This is not exactly a funky song, maybe more like funk light, if there's such a thing.
Oh, I guess.
I can kind of groove to it a little bit.
Okay.
And yes, this is 3 of 6.
All right. Next one. Wedding song, There Is Love. I'm gonna... Okay, let me read what I wrote about it, and then I'll guess, because I think that might help me here.
Go ahead.
A love song with references to Christian scripture, when 2 or more of you are gathered in his name, and as it was in the beginning, is now until the end. This song is pleasant, but I can't see anyone dancing to this at a wedding now. Maybe because not everyone connects with the message, and it also borders on hokey without ever quite getting there. It just doesn't grab me, what can I say? All I can say is, The Way I Want to Touch You is probably the better wedding choice if you had to pick a song from this CD. So I'm gonna guess no, but also probably yes. Like, I wouldn't think of you liking this song, but maybe you do secretly.
You were correct with no.
I was correct with no. Okay, great.
Wow, you are just, you are on it.
Okay.
You know me better than I know me. Or do you? Okay, little background on this song. This song was written by Noel Stuckey.
I know.
Who was Paul of Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Wait a minute, his name's not Paul?
No.
Are none of them named Peter, Paul, and Mary?
Well, no, they had...
Is my wife a lie?
No, they had Peter Yarrow and Mary Travis, and I guess they realized, hey, we needed another biblical kind of name. No, yeah, we're going to call you Paul.
He's like, okay, that works.
Okay. Yeah, so he wrote the song, and he said it was just something that came to him. Like
that?
Yeah. And if you want like an in-depth background story on how he wrote the song and what happened after, you can Google something called Guideposts. And it goes into it's really, really interesting story about him and the song and what he did with all the royalties to this song. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to look it up. It's not a bad arrangement, but the thing is, I'm used to hearing this on acoustic guitar. Like Paul's version was a decent-sized hit.
Yeah.
And he just did it on guitar. And it's perfect for guitar. It's not something you can dance to. This song was huge at weddings in the 70s. Not at the receptions, but at the weddings.
Really?
Particularly folk music-based weddings, which, yeah, that was kind of a thing in the 70s where you had, like, what were, like, called the charismatics. Like, it was, like, it's tough to describe. But anyway, back in the 70s, going to St. Margaret's on Saturday night, they would have, like, these folk music masses instead of like someone at the organ.
Oh, they'd have people on guitar and
stuff. They'd have these people on guitar, like these, like, not exactly hippies, but like
as far as the Catholic Church would allow hippies anyway.
Yeah, it was really weird. And then the 80s came along, or maybe, yeah, the 80s came along and they realized, okay, enough of this. We're going back to traditional.
Back to pipe organ.
Yep. And yeah, that was a thing. And I just remember hearing this song at quite a few weddings in the 70s.
Did Ron Procopio ever do any of that? Because
no,
really
he
was St. Margaret's for a while.
He was strictly organ guy.
Yeah, he still does organ at St. Margaret's, but he'll play piano every now and then when people are walking back to their seats.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Lonely Night Angel Face. I'm guessing no, because Mom likes this.
So do I.
Oh, okay. Maybe
This is
I know it's Neil
4
Sedaka.
of 6.
Okay, maybe it's a generational thing. Now, here's my thinking on this.
Go ahead.
I've heard the pet name Angel Face before, but it's certainly not a term of endearment anymore. I think if you call someone that, they might grow to like it, but they might find it weird at first. But for me, if I heard a guy calling me Angel Face, I kind of assumed they were a bit of a sleaze. Yeah, that's how I feel about that nickname. Anyway, this isn't Neil Sedaka's best breakup song. We all know what that is. And I don't think they can tell what kind of tone they want to strike either. Do they want a tropical song or a funky song? Trying to make it both work doesn't really work. And having those basses in the background doesn't work either. Yeah, which is a shame because I love a good bass singer. This song is more for Mom, not so much for me.
Okay,
Yeah,
another
that's it.
Another one that was written by Neil Sedaka. Tony's facing a lonely night, crying herself to sleep because he's gone. And yes, he used to call her Angel Face too.
Huh.
Like out of the 40s or something.
Huh.
I guess. I'm assuming. Yeah, it is an unusual arrangement. The last thing you'd expect is the jungle noises at the start. And then we get like an almost tropical theme. I mean, this is definitely, yacht rock at its best or worst, depending on your point of view. But it's that juxtaposition of sad lyrics, happy music. And even Tony said, like, when Daryl brought the arrangement to her, she thought, this is really weird. This was not what I was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. And yeah, it's kind of weird, but I really like it. I like the whole, I don't know if you want to call it tropical vibe or Caribbean vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kind of odd, but yeah, this is 4 of 6. I had to have this song.
All right, I think the next one is number 5, Coming from the Rain. Am I wrong?
Oh, you are like so wrong.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right, because I kind of like this one. So, hey, Bobby Caldwell wrote this song, and it looks like he made a lot of money from it too. I feel like this is Captain and Tennille's version of Time After Time, before Time After Time ever came out. We've all had that situation where a friend needs some space to figure things out for a while. And while you may be sad, you say, take all the time you need, I'll be here when you get back. And when they come back, both of you may be different people, but you still love each other. It's like no time has passed. So come inside and watch cartoons and eat junk food like when we were kids. You've earned it. Beautiful ballad. I like it.
Okay, good for you. And the first thing I noticed about this song is that's a lot of rain at the start. It's like a flood. And I mean, especially what we've gone through here with Henri and Ida, I thought, oh man, I'm flashing back. Oh God, I hope trees don't stop falling down. Okay, this song, it's like, Tony's got a great voice.
Yeah.
And she deserves better than this.
Oh, you don't
We
like it?
all do, as
Wow.
listeners. No, I thought it was forgettable. And having said that, does anyone really want to be with someone who doesn't have enough sense to come in from the rain? And yeah, I know
it's a metaphor.
I know it's a metaphor. Why does that sound familiar? It's a metaphor.
You used a metaphor on Timon? Lion King 1.5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just do not like this song. It's just, meh.
Well, I like it, so I'm gonna keep
okay,
it.
you can like it. That's why we have these podcasts, just giving our opinions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll still be my daughter.
Okay, great. I can still live here for now. Okay, next track. I'm gonna say no.
Oh,
Circles.
You are correct.
Okay, it's the Circle of Love. Wait a minute, that's the wrong song. Man, if you took a shot for every time they said the word circle, you'd wind up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning.
Oh, you would.
I think this is about the spaces you create with someone you love that are so uniquely yours, which is fine, but I kind of get sick of them singing the word circle over and over pretty fast. Because to paraphrase Cinderella, you go around in circles till you're very, very dizzy.
Oh,
So,
I thought until you throw up.
yeah, so maybe pass this song because it's not their best.
It's a wonderful circle that took him in, or corralled him, and there's no way out.
Well,
Huh? Anyway, ugh.
yeah, I don't like it.
No. Next.
Oh, okay, next. We never really say goodbye. All right, let me read what I wrote.
Go ahead.
Man, if this song played at a funeral, everyone would be bawling their eyes out. I don't know if it's because I've heard so many similar songs or because this song isn't I don't know what I wrote there. I'm sorry. I said it isn't the eBay of this group. What the hell did I mean?
Unless it was spell check just zoomed in there. And...
I don't know. All right.
No, go ahead. Read that whole sentence.
I don't know if it's because I've heard this song, so I've heard so many similar songs, or because this song isn't the eBay of this group. I don't know what I meant, but it did nothing for me.
Listeners out there, if you know what my daughter's trying to say, please.
Yeah, if you could figure out my super secret message that I'm trying to convey with this code, I'll send you virtual pizza rolls or something. I don't know, but it did nothing for me. It's pretty simple and it's pretty and it has a simple message, but that's all. Again, I think I'd have to be at a funeral for this to really get to me. Where there are songs like this where if I hear the first notes anywhere, I'm automatically a mess. Man, we had one good song and two meh songs in a row. I guess they can't all be hits, but it's a bummer when they're not. Okay, we've got 3 songs left.
Okay, again.
I'm gonna say.
Okay, wait. Can I give my 2 cents about this song?
But I have to guess.
No, we never really say goodbye. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess. No.
Oh, correct.
Okay.
And again, for me, it's a matter of she's just got this great voice, and just the material just isn't serving that voice.
So, in your opinion, like Celine Dion? In a way? Because you say she's a good singer, but you don't like the material.
She is. I mean, I'm going to say it for the umpteenth time. She just did a great job with You Shook Me All Night Long. I was just so impressed, and I thought, yes, she's got the voice. She just needs great material. Same with, I'm going to say it, Whitney Houston.
Okay, that's a take.
Yep, that's a take. Just needed better material. To me, this song sounded like it came from like a B-grade Disney cartoon movie.
No, I don't see the Disney vibes with this one so much.
It's like, we never really say goodbye.
Well,
Because we're always going to come back and say hello.
Well, I hear
or
this song
something.
and I think of As If We Never Said Goodbye from Sunset Boulevard when Norma Desmond comes back on the movie set. By the way, I might anger the theater fans with this one. I don't like the music from Sunset Boulevard. I tried to listen to the cast recording. It's boring as hell. The only good redeeming part is George Hearn as Max. That was good casting. Anyway, we going on to the next one?
Can't Stop Dancing.
I'm going to say yes.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so one of those you can't let life get you down songs. Only the message is keep on dancing. Problem is, this isn't my kind of dancing music. And in terms of boosting my energy, it doesn't really do that either. I think the panting in the background is a fun touch. Think 500 Miles by the Proclaimers when like the song gets closer to the end and the guy's panting because he's been walking those 500 miles. But this song just does nothing for me. It just feels like they're overexerting themselves and we're watching them do so with no incentive to participate.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, first off, with a title like that, Can't Stop Dancing, it's going to be peppy, whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, maybe with the out of breath stuff, it's like, can't stop dancing even when the music's gone. And my thing is, you can and should stop dancing once the music's gone. Because, come on, you're going to look odd or like you need to go to the emergency room or something. But listening to this song, this would definitely be a contender at one of those Eurovision contests. Like the one that ABBA won, like back in like 73 or 74. But yeah, it's very, 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 very 1970s. It's very rah rah, up with people. Hey, let's just. I can't. I can't. Thank you, punk rock, for coming along. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Clash.
Thank you.
All right, so
Clash, Sex Pistols, Ramones. God love you all.
next track. You've never done it like that before. Okay, how many songs of yours have I guessed right at this point?
I don't know.
Okay, so we've got 2 left.
So obviously, well, you've got 4. You've guessed 4 of them correctly.
So these the last 2, both of them you
Yes.
like? Okay. All right, you never done it like that before. Tennille's partner decides to spice things up in the bedroom, much to her delight. But this isn't a song that puts me in the mood. It's too precious. There isn't that undercurrent of longing. Oh, sure, there might be words about how aroused she is, but that's all they are. Words. There's no genuine longing behind them. There's a groove, but not the right one. I just don't buy it. I said what I said.
You said it, and I'm going to say what I say.
All right.
God bless Tony. She said Neil Sedaka's version was too happy and peppy, and she locked Daryl in a room and told him not to come out until he had a sexy arrangement.
Huh.
And the captain came through. Consider me seduced.
Well, I think we know who's the dominant partner in this relationship.
The only line that kind of gets me is when she says something, "Hey, little man." Yikes.
Oh.
And
didn't have to bring that up. That poor man.
And that line, "One kiss from you and I feel just like Columbus."
What? What? You feel like a genocidal maniac?
I was going to say, back in the 70s, no big deal. But nowadays, we could say that kiss led to conquest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's like, because like she feels like Columbus because she discovered
did she also
that
feel
he's
like
some kind of lover.
Did she also feel like Columbus because she gave him some sort of disease?
No, but I think she went out and killed the indigenous people after.
It's never the ones you suspect, is it?
Nope, it's not.
Moving right past that.
Like I said, God bless Tony. She knew she was able to mine the gold out of this song.
Okay.
She made chicken salad out of chicken shit. Oh, yeah.
I hate that expression. Because that just implies you put mayonnaise and celery and shit. That's horrible. I don't like it.
Okay.
Okay. Final track. Do That to Me One More Time. Or as I call it, your parents' version of Hit Me One More Time. I said it.
Hit me one more time? Oh, Brittany.
Brittany, yeah.
Okay.
The tone of the music is all wrong. They're trying to make it a romantic ballad when, again, there needs to be some grit. Where's the 70s grit? You saw it in the movies, and there was definitely music that had grit. Damn it, we need some here. We need something. I mean, there's a recorder solo, for God's sake. This is like food without seasoning. It's bland. You could skip this song and easily not miss anything.
Fine.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I hate that expression. Okay. Okay. This hit #1, and this also made Dave Barry's book of really bad songs. He looks at it as a critique of the guy's amorous skills, or lack thereof, like, "Do that to me one more time. Hey, pal, yeah, that's all you had? That's all you got? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Get back here." Now, Tony says this is about the first time Daryl kissed her. And if you read the lyrics, it's pretty obvious.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, she said if it had been about mattress dancing, she would have written, "Do it to me one more time." Which,
yeah, that makes sense.
I can buy that.
That makes sense.
And also, like the song "The Way That I Want to Touch You," babies were made to this song.
I could see more babies being made to
yeah.
The Way I Want to Touch You, because that involves more than just kissing.
Well, if people were thinking "Do That to Me One More Time" is like Mattress Dance Part 2, then maybe they weren't as careful the second time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So this makes 6 of 6.
All right, so
Okay.
overall,
Have at it.
Captain and Tennille is okay. They have some songs that are surprisingly enjoyable, but between the enjoyable, there's an even amount of blah. So I think if you bought this best of, you'd really have to be a hardcore fan and not just a casual music listener. Because I don't like to be casually bored. If I'm casual, I still want to be doing something or experiencing something. It's like meditation, but without the zen, which is what some of these songs feel like. So, listeners, cherry pick away, I won't care.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so I am still batting 500 with this collection. And that's just not going to change.
You could be batting more than 500, though, if you got rid of those other 6 songs. That way, 100% perfect record.
That's what I did on the iPod.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, that's not going to change. But I tell you, I'm batting 500 and I was in baseball, I would be like owning the team.
You'd be better than Ted Williams.
But no one was better than him.
No.
Okay. Now, would I recommend that you run out and get this?
Well...
If you had $1, It'd be a great deal.
Yeah, $1. Oh, God.
Yeah,
This is a lot.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But then there's always Spotify, because you really do need love will keep us together in your life. And if it just came to having that one song, that might be all that you need. But having lived through the 70s and listening to these songs on the radio, I'm glad I got my 6.
All right. And with that note, as always, thank you for listening to the latest installment of My Dad Listens to This. But before we go into our regular spiel, we just also want to say happy 75th birthday to our dearly departed Freddie Mercury. Would have been 75 years old today. So if you want to reminisce on some Queen, which is some better music of the 70s, then you can listen to our episodes where we cover A Day at the Races and News of the World. And we'll probably be doing more Queen soon. Happy birthday, Freddie. We both love you. All right, so like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz if you haven't already. Follow me on social media. I post the episodes there. If you are friends with my dad, tell him what episode you want, and he'll email it directly to your inbox. Thank you for listening to another installment of My Dad Listens to This. We'll be back next week with another tribute album to nitpick and gripe about. Dad, final thoughts.
And always remember, love will keep us together, and love will tear us apart are two completely different things.
Don't forget that. Goodbye.